ability to use decision-making skills to enhance your health. We're gonna talk about barriers to making healthy food choices. We're gonna talk about the impacts of your decisions and making healthy food choices. And we're gonna talk about why and how we can make healthy food choices. So just by a show of hands, I want you to raise your hand if at this point in your life you think it is important for you to make healthy food choices. So everybody thinks it's important to make healthy food choices. You would be shocked at how many people yesterday said they didn't really think it mattered. But the stuff that you're doing today truly is gonna affect what your body is able to give you years from now. The life expectancy today is decreasing like drastically because of what we're putting in our bodies, because of all the different things that are going into foods, processed foods, different things like that. So it's really, really important to make sure that what you're putting in your body is good stuff that's fueling it and that's gonna give it what it needs. So as you get older, especially now, I mean, your bodies are changing a lot. So you wanna make sure you're putting good stuff in there so you get good stuff, you got good stuff to put out, right? Does that make sense? It's not rocket science. You've heard it a million times before. So just to sort of piggyback on what we were just talking about, why is it important to make good decisions? Because the decisions that you make today are going to impact every aspect of your tomorrow. Do y'all agree with that or disagree? The decisions that you make today are going to affect every aspect of your tomorrow. So what you're eating, if you're getting good sleep, if you're doing things that are good for your health, staying away from things that are not good for your health, are those all, would you agree that those sorts of things are going to impact every bit about what your tomorrow is going to look like, down the road looks like, yes or no? Good. I like that quote too. That's why I put my name on it, because it's mine. Okay, so the first question that you've got in your notes, barriers to making positive decisions. So can anybody tell me one thing that may be a barrier, something that may prevent you from making positive decisions about health-related things? Whether it's food, whether it's sleep, what are some barriers? I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, Kinley, what do you think? Technology. So at night, you're trying to get ready, or your parents are like, all right, it's time to go to bed, and you got your phone and you got like maybe another text you gotta send. Can you elaborate a little bit? Tell us a little bit more about what you mean.
I mean, if you're trying to go to bed at a specific time, you can sometimes get distracted by people you want to talk to or things you want to look at on your phone.
I love it, Kinley. I love it because you're absolutely right. That's probably one of the bigger things, especially today, for all of us. Like, it's time to go to bed. We know we need a good night's rest. We know these are things that we need. But instead, we've got one more text we want to send, or we've got one more article we want to look at, or we've got one more episode we want to watch, right? So it can be kind of difficult, yeah? What's another barrier? Has anybody got another barrier that may affect you making healthy decisions, me making healthy decisions? What do you think? How many of you help your parents grocery shop? So, how many of you, when you go to the grocery store with your parents, are looking for healthy things to eat off the shelf? Specifically, like you're thinking, I want to make sure I get something healthy, to put in this basket. At least you're honest, because that's the truth of the matter. Like if you were to look at most of our pantries, most of our refrigerators, most of the stuff that's in them is probably not the healthiest stuff, right? So that's a barrier, the things that we have to choose from. I oftentimes hear, and I've read that it's more expensive to eat healthy. How many of you agree with that? Which is interesting because in the grand scheme of things, if you go to the grocery store, there's some super basic items that you can get, like fruits and veggies and meats and stuff that really aren't that expensive. Now, you may not be able to get these, certain brands of healthy stuff, but I'm always interested to know, like, who believes that, because I don't find whenever I'm trying to shop healthy, I don't think it's as difficult as, or as costly as sometimes we think it is. So one of the barriers to making positive decisions is the choices that you have available, okay? So whatever's in your kitchen is what you're gonna grab to eat. So you might be grabbing stuff that's not healthy. So that's one barrier, the choices that are available. So you should have that on your notes. Y'all see that one? Another one is your mindset. How many of you desire, like you wake up in the morning and you say, I really want to eat healthy today, or I really want to make sure I'm getting good sleep at night, or I really want to make sure I get a good workout in today when I'm in PE? Are you focusing on those things? Is your mind in a place where that's truly what you're wanting to do is better your health? Yeah? Lori, what do you think? Do you wake up in the morning and say, I want to eat super healthy today, and I want to make sure I get a good workout today? Not really. And it's tough because, like, just like anybody else, we as adults, I wake up in the morning sometimes and I think, man, I just want to lay in this bed like a little bit longer, like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. You know, but if I retrain my mind, if I get a new mindset and I say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell yourself 4 or 5 things you're grateful for, and I'll list those off real quick. It sure does make my day easier. Sure does make it easier for me to get up and say, all right, Misty, it's time to get it going. You know, that's my first one. It's time to get it going. So, all right, Miss Cox, it's time to get it going. Get up. You got this to be grateful for, this to be grateful for, this to be grateful for. Focus on good, positive things today, and let's get it going. So that's your mindset. So can anybody tell me, based on what I just said, what is mindset? If that's a barrier to healthy lifestyle, healthy living, healthy nutrition, healthy activity, what is mindset? What do you think, Madison?
Like the way you look at things, like you can look at them in like a positive way or like a negative way.
You got it, girl. You hit the nail on the head. You got it. It's the way that you look at things. That's absolutely right. So we've got a little definition that after that little crazy man, I'm going to go back to this video, but I want to go ahead and talk about mindset. Hold on. Oh, I don't know if I had that on yours. So you're absolutely right, Madison. I added a slide, but mindset is the way that we look at things. So you've got that. I think it's question number 4. What is mindset? Mindset is simply the way we look at things, whether it's in a positive way or a negative way. It's the way that it's what we've got our minds fixed on that sort of guide the rest of our day. It guides us. Our mindset is our guide. Let me get back to this one. We've got a short little video that we're going to watch. And questions 2 and 3, I'm going to let you answer those on your own. So question 2 says, are you happy with your food choices? Real quick, I want you to just think, are you happy with your food choices? Yes or no? Just like when you immediately think about it, are you happy with your food choices? Do you think you do a good job of choosing healthy foods? Do you like what you're putting in your body, day in and day out, for the most part? And you can go ahead and answer question number 3. Are you happy with how you feel? Lots of times what we're putting in our body has a huge impact on how we feel. If I'm eating healthy, if I'm getting good exercise, if I'm getting good sleep, I love the way I feel. I don't know about y'all, but there's nothing like getting a good night's rest, you know, or, you know, knowing I've had a good healthy meal and got a good workout in that day, and I go lay down to sleep. I sleep so much better. All right, I've got a short video that we're going to watch. Coach Boston, we can cut those lights on the video. How many of you can relate to, sorry.
Nutrition isn't really important.
How many of you can relate to the part where the boy said that about the lettuce on the hamburger? Like, you're really thinking hard, you're like, okay, when was the last time that I really ate a fruit or a vegetable?
Yesterday.
I ask my kids sometimes, I'll say, okay, do you have a fruit in that lunchbox? Or do you have a vegetable in that lunchbox? And let me see, you know, and I'm pulling it open to make sure there's a fruit or a veggie in there, because sometimes it's like, geez, when was the last time I ate a fruit or a vegetable? But I love the part about the squash too, it's like, squash, why squash? I mean, I don't really know anybody who likes squash that much. Y'all like squash, do you like squash?
You know,
Malaysia's like, yuck, no. Okay, so we talked about one or two of the, do y'all like squash? Raise your hand if you like squash. Wow, so we got 1, 2, 3, I mean, it was like 6 or 7 hands went up. Hey, but it's all a matter of personal taste, so whatever floats your boat. Squash is, do you like a little bit? My sister was talking about it yesterday, she's got a little garden going in Malaysia, and she loves to like grow stuff in her garden. And she's got some chickens, and she messaged yesterday, and she was talking about how bad we needed some rain, because she needed her kale and her collards to grow.
Ew.
I know, I was like, ooh, collards, I don't know, like collards. I don't know. It's the smell of them, I'm like, ooh. Okay, so we talked about the impact of making good or bad nutrition decisions. What is one impact, or what is one thing that could be a byproduct of good nutrition, healthy lifestyle? We could talk about this right here. What is this?
Stress.
Do you think that people who lead a healthy lifestyle, that try to eat healthy, do you think that they are less stressed or more stressed? You're right. I mean, and doesn't that make sense? That's just kind of common sense. If your body's feeling good, you're putting good stuff in it, when things come along that, yes, Kinley?
Sometimes you could get stressed about eating unhealthily.
You're absolutely right.
Sometimes after I eat a snack or something and I know that it's not something that is good for myself, I regret it, and I think that that was not something I was supposed to be eating.
Hey, and that kind of goes back to mindset. That's you at least thinking and recognizing, saying, you know, this is something I put in my body and I'm not real happy about it, and it's something I'm gonna try to work on, or I'm gonna try to, you know, not do as much of, so that's good that you're thinking like that, Kimberly, because at least it's something that you recognize is something that maybe is not such a good idea, right? Okay, so stress. If we are not eating healthy, we're gonna be stressed. And as females, when we're stressed lots of times, we have a tendency to wanna even like eat junk. I know myself personally, I'm like, if I'm a little bit stressed, I'm like, well, I'll just grab this real quick and go to make you feel better. You get that quick sugar rush and, you know, to make you feel good for a minute, just a minute, right? Not for too long. And then you start doing maybe like Kinley said, and you just are like, oh, I don't know if I should have done that. What about fatigue, sleep? How do you sleep if you're not eating good and taking care of your body and you're staying on that technology? Are you sleeping so good at night? Probably not. You're probably not sleeping real good, especially if you're on that technology and a friend's got, you know, some drama and she's wanting to tell you about it and you're all wrapped up in that, so then you're really not sleeping good. So something you definitely need to stay away from. Stay away from the drama, not even for your mama. Just leave it alone. All right, what about disease? Do you think that if you're making good, healthy decisions as far as exercise, nutrition, that you are more susceptible to diseases or less susceptible? Less. And do you think that that's a 100% no, I'm not gonna get this down the road at some point? Not necessarily, but you're giving yourself a better chance of preventing a lot of diseases like heart disease if you're trying to eat healthy and live a healthy lifestyle. What do you think, Kinley?
Well, also, if you eat healthily, you'll have more energy, so that if you do get sick, your body will be able to fight it off.
I love it, Kinley. You're absolutely right. I love it. And you are absolutely 100% right. If you are getting enough exercise, getting enough sleep, feeding your body good, your body's gonna say, hey, I like this. I think I'm with you. I think I can do this for you. And it's gonna work a little bit harder for you, right? So you're absolutely right. We've already talked about this, but obesity, if you're not eating healthy, this is gonna come. You're gonna be obese. Does that mean that big people aren't healthy? No, my people are big bone people. My people are, you know, we're healthy people. My younger sister was the only female from Grady County that ever played football. She played football in middle school. She was a beast. She was big, but she was fit, she's healthy. Doesn't mean that big people are unhealthy. It means that what we're putting in our body, how we're treating our body, if we're getting good sleep, exercise, good nutrition, then we're gonna be healthy, okay? Obese is, you are overweight and you are not taking care of your body. You are putting junk in your body. This is gonna come. If you're younger and you think it's not, it's gonna come. Feed your body good. High blood pressure. That is also, could also be a byproduct of not eating healthy. We heard that a minute ago in the video. If you're not eating healthy, then you could have high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and this right here, tooth decay. If you're eating a bunch of sugar, how many of you are good brushers? How many of you are good brushers? Praise God, you're good brushers. Is it hard when you get up in the morning, do you want to go and be like, brush your teeth? Or do you just do it? Oh, that makes me so happy. A little happy. Makes me real happy, makes me a little sad. Because my kids are like, I'm like, go back up and brush your teeth. Sometimes they'll come down the stairs and I'm like, did you brush? And they're like, and I'm like, go brush, you know? I mean, oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
I can't stand having bad breath.
I'm gonna make sure that, that's something we're working on in my household. Like, I'm working on it with sister, I'm working on it with brother. I mean, we're gonna get it. But tooth decay, if you're not brushing your teeth good, you're gonna have tooth decay, okay? Take care of your teeth. Brush your teeth. Good nutrition can contribute to, what about this? Do you think that if you're eating healthy, that you're gonna be able to hear better, see better, just feel better? Yeah, absolutely. So that's another one that you could add to your list about what good nutrition can lead to. You can put that for that one. I don't have a number out beside that one, but you can add that to the list. You're gonna be able to hear better, you're gonna be able to see better. What's one good food for seeing? If you're eating it, you're probably gonna see better. We've heard it, what is it? Carrots. I love it. That's one thing that's never changed. That's been the way, I'm 42 and that's what they told us, the same thing. And I've done research on it, it is true. Good nutrition is gonna prevent diseases. Oh, what about your mood? How do you feel like when you're eating
It makes you drowsy.
It makes you drowsy? Does it make you ill, like maybe to your friends, you're a little bit, I agree. I think so too. It affects your mood. What do you think, Malaysia? Yeah, makes you feel yuck. Makes you feel yuck, your mood, it definitely affects your mood. So good nutrition can affect your mood in a good way, a positive way, and in a negative way. Just depends on what you're putting in it. And your energy. Do you have more energy when you are eating good and exercising? Absolutely, absolutely. Some of the guys were saying yesterday that they have a hard time exercising in the evening because they can't slow their bodies down and go to bed. And I was like, yeah, I agree with that. I love to work out earlier in the day, but you guys being here at school and get your good, PE time in. A lot of you have stuff after school. How many of you have stuff going on after school where you're busy? Yeah, so keeping that body busy, Dakota, keeping that body busy. You keeping that body busy after school? I know you are. But that's what we want to do so that we're healthy, right? We want to do that so that we have a lot of energy to give, okay? So we're exercising, we're putting good stuff in our body, we're getting good sleep so we can have the energy to give. Why and how can I make healthy food choices? We talked about earlier, like those of you that go grocery shopping with your family, like maybe sitting down, and I know this is something that you're kind of like, but sitting down with mom, dad, grandma, granddad, whoever goes grocery shopping and saying, hey, is there any way we could grab this? And just picking like a couple of few things that you can add to that grocery list that are good for your health, okay? That are good for you, that you could eat. Bananas are so cheap. I don't know if you like bananas, but we eat a lot of bananas in my house.
I don't like the texture.
Oh, well then we gotta find you something else. What about apples? Oranges, apples, bananas, anything. I like to look at food in a way where if it grows in a garden, it's good for me. If it's, it's gonna be better for me than some of the things I can put in my body. I wanna talk to y'all about food labels at some point because I love food labels. Like I never understood, it was such a complex thing for me to look at a food label and say, I don't know if this is healthy or not, like I don't have time to go through all of this stuff back here on the back. But a friend shared with me about just ingredients that are on a food label. Like if you look at the ingredients on a food label, a good rule of thumb is if you can't pronounce the ingredient, it's probably not good for your body. And there's lots of things that, there's lots of foods that are in stores that don't have a lot, hot sauce, if you look on the back of a hot sauce bottle, it's got like everything you can pronounce. Vinegar, peppers, I don't know how many of you like hot sauce, but it's not bad for you. You know, and so my daughter is a ranchaholic. She's a ranchaholic. She loves ranch on everything, like ranch. And I'm like, no. But hot sauce, you can eat as much hot sauce as you want. It's not bad for you. You can pronounce it. But if you look at those ingredients and it's got things like preservatives and yesterday we were reading on the back of one of the, like somebody's candy bar. What do they put inside of humans when you pass away to preserve you so that you're not, I mean, what do they put? Does anybody know what that's called? It starts with I think it's an F or a PH, makes the F sound. What do they put in humans when you pass away to preserve you as in the casket? It's called formaldehyde. It's called formaldehyde. And you put it in, well, what they do is they put that in humans to keep them nice and plump, because otherwise they sink in and be all, but it's also in your food, y'all. If you look on the back of food labels sometimes, any kind of preservative, what do you think a preservative does? It keeps food fresher for longer, gives it a longer shelf life, but you're putting it in your body. So it's sort of, if you think about it like that, it's a little bit easier to say, oh, I don't know if I want this. Put it back. All right, so talk to your family. Talk to the grocery list person. Say, grocery list person, let me help you make that grocery list, okay? Plan meals. This is so hard, but man, does it make a difference. If you're helping plan meals, eggs, fruits, veggies, if you're helping put those things in those meals with mom, dad, whoever's cooking, I know you can't do it all the time, and I know you can't do it every night. I know you can't do it every morning, but if you can do it some, you're at least retraining your mind and creating a better mindset for yourself so that as you get older, as you get out on your own, as you move out of the house at some point in time down the road, you at least have a foundation of things that you can do that will lead to a healthier lifestyle for you, okay? Because it's really hard later in life to say, oh, this is something I want to do now. Like I want to start doing. You can, but if you do it, start doing it a little bit now, it'll be so much easier down the road. All right, we got a little video here.
The best dietary pattern for you is one that is based in science